Fifth. Hey, hey, Em. How's it going, girl? How are you doing, daughter? It's good to see you this morning, even though I don't quite see you. If I look closely enough, I can peer into the lens. I think I can see your shadow. Well, maybe not so much. I hope you're doing okay, Em. So today is the 5th of June, 2019, and it is what? It's a Wednesday? Wow, the week's gone so fast already. So I had a fun time leading a council circle group last night at the Goleta Public Library. A group of us got together and we just played some communication games, and I got the taste of being a leader again, a leader of a council circle group. And, I thought to myself that this is probably something that I could do all the time. I could probably do it once a week. I could probably even maybe do it twice a week. I was thinking about what my future is in regard to council circle, and I think I could make it a greater part of my life, and that would be okay. I think it would be fine. What I'm very pleased by is that I seem to have all the tools that I need at my disposal. I have all the resources. I'm fully resourced to do it, to do this leadership work, this council circle work. And I mean, there's really no limit to the kind of energy that I can put into this endeavor. And I think that I'll receive benefits from it. Benefits relating to increasing social circle, benefits related to just increasing knowledge of other people and communication skills and improvement in my understanding of psychology and social skills. Did I say social skills? I said communication skills. Um, there are a lot of benefits that I think I can gain. Long-term benefits if I give it a try. And I think also I'll be able to exercise a few virtues that I've been wanting to work on, like things like intentionality and I don't know, courage and stuff I've been really meaning to work on. And I think it can also enhance my personal growth and learning. And I think there's a lot of ways that it could help improve my life. And wow. And really, there are not very many drawbacks that I can think of. Not many downsides. I mean, really, I can't think of any. I mean, I could think of a few possibility downsides, but I think I can deal with them pretty easily. So really, I'm struck by how much of a no-brainer it is. So all it requires on my part is just a little bit of initiative, a little bit of effort to get the ball rolling. And I could make council circle a big part of my life, a regular part of my life. Neato. And you know what else is neat? I've also been thinking about integrating it possibly with ecstatic dance on the local level. My mind is filled with so many interesting ideas about opportunities to sort of expand ecstatic dance in my local area. Instead of driving an hour south in Santa Barbara and driving an hour north in San Luis Obispo, why don't I just create some ecstatic dancey thing here in my local area? So I'm pretty excited about all this potential, all these possibilities. And all it takes on my part is just a little bit of courage, courage that I already have in spades. It's kind of funny how people in general have just, they're so fully resourced today with the internet and higher wages. And well, I don't know if they're higher wages, but I'll tell you what, the internet makes everything easier. And we're just so resourced. The world is going to be an amazing place in 10, 15, 20 years. I mean, it's just going to be phenomenal. I mean, I already see it happening. I mean, just 10, 20, maybe in 30 years, people will be jumping off the walls in celebration for how amazing life is. I mean, that's just, I almost don't see any other alternative than that. Of course, I'm also a totally optimistic person. I'm super optimistic. But I really think that this is all going to happen. It's just, and I'm actually surprised that it hasn't happened already. It's pretty surprising. I mean, we've passed the second millennium, the year 2000. Anyway, I'm excited by all the potential that's out there in the world. It's greater than I've ever seen it. I know there's so much potential out there, so much opportunity to do good, so much opportunity to bring joy to people's lives, so much opportunity to, I don't know, there's so much flexibility now that, I don't know, I just have never known life to be as amazing as it is right now. And so I'm pretty stoked. I'm pretty excited about what the future might hold. And I'm so excited that you're growing up in the world that it is today. It's really pretty phenomenal. Now, it's true, we got some limitations. Things aren't optimal in every way. Hey, I granted you that. That's true. But things are not half bad either. I mean, there's so many, from an economic standpoint, from a sociological standpoint, pretty much everything is trending in the right direction. Many things, not all things. Climate change is a problem, sure. Overeating and overweight, obesity is a problem. Yeah, we got problems with our food environment. But I think overall things are looking really good. I think things like violence, I think, is being sufficiently curbed, and there's a lot of attention being brought to it. I'm so glad about that. So I'm seeing a lot of peace movements happening all over the world, and I'm so pleased about that. And I'm just really optimistic about this focus on mental health and psychology in the world today. I see it in a lot of areas I wouldn't have necessarily, I would not necessarily have seen it in the past. Like I remember, I think I heard something about there was a presidential candidate who was maybe a combat veteran, and within the presidential campaign talking about their PTSD problems, their PTSD diagnosis. I mean, that's phenomenal. I mean, I would have never expected something like that. Really, just 10 years ago, or just 4 years ago, really. It's really phenomenal. So, I don't know. I think I'm really optimistic about the condition of the world and what the future brings. And I'm really excited to see these other countries stepping up, like China and India and the UK. All these particularly scientific communities all over the world in different states, standing up and being part of the scientific enterprise. I'm seeing all kinds of discoveries from all corners, amazing scientific discoveries, and I'm just so excited about its potential. I'm also excited about technology with autonomous vehicles. Man, robots. I've never seen robots make leaps like I have in the last 10 years. I'm amazed about the possibility of artificial intelligence and computers and smartphone phenomena, which is fantastic. I love it. And even the interest and tendency that people have to take photographs and videos of pretty much everything they've got going on around them. I love that. I love that communication, everything. Everyone's communicating about everything through chats, instant messages, emails, video teleconferences, even just audio teleconferences. I mean, it's just great what's happening in the world today. Loving it. Loving it. And to think it's only going to get better is just phenomenal to me. Just phenomenal. I mean, first of all, one of the most significant changes that have happened recently that I think is just pretty amazing is like the Edison lights, the lights that had the filaments inside with it. Nobody has lights like that anymore, except for maybe decorative purposes, right? Most lights are LEDs or fluorescent lights. I mean, come on. That's fantastic. We really turned a corner when it's come to conserving energy. And I only see that drive to conserve energy just becoming more and more powerful. So that's awesome. Well, I shouldn't say the drive to conserve energy. What I really mean is the drive in energy efficiency. Yeah. That drive for energy efficiency is getting stronger and stronger. I really do see a time when really only electrical vehicles will be on the road, and there will be no, petroleum vehicles on the road. And that can only be good for the, our plight in regard to climate change and carbon dioxide. So I'm really optimistic about what the future holds. Now, it might be true that we've already passed the point of no return regarding climate change. But if we can pull it together and say the next 10, 15 years, which I think is a possibility, it's basically hard to rustle all the cats to sort of get all nations and all people fixed on controlling their geo environment. We'll do it. I'm pretty sure we will, because human beings, if they could do anything, if human beings are good at any one thing, let me tell you what they are good at: controlling their environment. Are humans good at controlling their environment? The answer is a definitive yes. We are just that good. I'm serious. Just look around you. These buildings, this building that I'm in it. I'm living in this house, right? Which is nothing more than a controlled environment. I've got my water, my heating, my sunlight. I've got all the resources I have, the utilities I have, the electricity in my environment. I'm basically enclosed in this shell, right? And the shell essentially protects me from my external environment. And, as we've grown into neighborhoods and cities and megalopolises and states, we're basically controlling our environment. We're controlling the footpaths by laying down concrete and asphalt. We're controlling what enters and exits through fences and barriers and walls. I mean, we're really great at walls. We're really great. And we're great at controlling things and controlling our environment. I mean, just look at our food environment. It is one of the most controlled aspects of our environment ever. Look at our social environment. Our social environment is just 100% constrained, restricted. We're so good at controlling our environments. And so when it comes to our planetary environment, I think we're going to do a fine job changing it. We just sort of need to get all on the same page. And we kind of need to figure out what to do. Let me tell you, if there was a button for us to press, I think we'd pretty much all press it we would have already pressed it by now if we knew which button to press. The thing about it is, when we came out of like when we came out of the Industrial Revolution, our culture, our global culture, was really focused on the use of petroleum fuels as a main fuel source. I mean, it was just the available fuel that was there at the right time, and we adapted to use that fuel. And so a lot of our culture and civilization, society is based on petroleum fuel. It just is. Coal, oil, natural gas. It just is, because why? It's cheap and easy and available everywhere, essentially. And we just got used to it. And we're definitely thankful for the planet for offering all of this wonderful carbon dioxide fuel for us. But I think we're really starting to get an understanding of what alternatives lie out there. Hydroelectric, geothermal, photovoltaic. We'll come up with solutions. We already have some considerable solutions. And so, once we press that button, press the gas on those solutions more and more, I think we'll be able to make it happen and start controlling our environment better. I think really, the Industrial Revolution just sort of snuck up on us these last 100 years, these last 130 years. It hasn't snuck up on us, but it only has been a short time. 100 years is not a lot of time. It's only been a few generations of human beings. I mean, there are people, maybe there aren't any people that are alive today that saw the first vehicles roll off the Ford Industrial conveyor belts, but we're not far off from that. And so, it's kind of funny is that the culture and society that people know today is one that's fueled by hydrocarbon fuels. And it's basically one of the main assumptions that we have, are sort of the main going in assumptions of civilization. So it's going to take us some time to sort of work our way out of using these hydrocarbon fuels, but we'll get there. Thankfully, there appears to be enough solar and maybe wave energy and wind energy out there. It's it's going to take some effort. Here's one of the problems is that there's energy scarcity. The energy that's in our environment is rather diffuse. It's like wind and waves. Heat gradients in the Earth's surface. I mean, these are subtle sources of energy. These are not atomic bombs falling from the sky. These are very subtle. These sources of energy are subtle and delicate, and they're just not. It's not lasers, high power megawatt lasers. Shooting from the heavens. This is, we're basically searching for scraps in terms of energy. There's just not a lot of energy out there. We just have to sort of concentrate it, because it is rather diffuse. I mean, sunlight, that's about as diffuse as it can get. Soon we'll be getting our energy from gravitational waves, which I think, getting energy from ocean wave action is basically what that is, getting energy from gravitational waves. I know. These are very sort of diffuse sources of energy, and they're not easy to collect. They're just not easy to collect. Even geothermal energy is just not that easy to collect. Speaking of geothermal energy, I was in a geothermal energy powered hot tub last weekend, and I really enjoyed it. That was a good time. I went to Franklin Hot Springs last last weekend in Paso Robles and had a really nice time just sort of sitting in the hot tub, visiting with other people, listening to folk music. I was at the Folk and Soak Festival. I think I might have mentioned it. Anyway, so there we go. I'm doing my part, playing my role as energy conservator of the earth and having a geothermally sort of supplied energy bathtub. What can I say? That's green. That's what green energy. That's what the green energy will be in the future. I don't know. Well, first of all, it takes technology. It takes technology to pull this all together. I mean, how do you pull carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere without huge inputs of energy? I mean, I'm guessing what's the concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere? Honestly, I don't know what it is. Let's find out. Hey, Google, what's the concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere?
On the website sci.ucar.edu, they say, carbon dioxide 400 ppm atmospheric concentration diagrams. As of 2012, the concentration of carbon dioxide in Earth's atmosphere is 400 parts per million.
Hey, Google, how much is 400 parts per million in percent?
Sorry, I don't understand, but
okay.
I found something similar. Do you want to know how do you convert ppm to percentage?
No, I already know how to do that. I think you.
My apologies, I don't understand.
I think what I need to do, I think you divide by 10,000 or something like that. So what's 400? Hey, Google, what's 400 divided by 10,000?
The answer is 0.04.
Okay, so 0.04. So there's really like, it's in percent, 0.04% carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Dope. Oh, wow. That's a little bit of carbon dioxide. That's not a lot of carbon dioxide. 400 parts per million is not a lot of carbon dioxide. 0.04% carbon dioxide. That's not a lot of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So how do you pull that carbon dioxide? How do you lower the carbon dioxide level even more than that? I don't know how you do that. Well, I know how you do it. Basically, you got to liquefy the atmospheric air, and then you turn it into cryogenic air, and then through distilling columns, you distill out the carbon dioxide, and then what do you do with the cryogenic carbon dioxide? I don't know what you do with the cryogenic carbon dioxide. What do you do with the cryogenic carbon dioxide? I don't know. You bury it underground, I guess. I don't know. I like this idea of turning carbon dioxide into just carbon, right? So if we could figure out some chemical process to make that happen, we can fix the carbon in some kind of solid form. That would be the way to go, probably. Basically what we need is a whole bunch of photosynthesis. We need tons of photosynthesis, and we can turn that carbon dioxide and that carbon into sugar. Oh yeah, that's right. We'll just turn it into sugar, turn it into glucose, and we'll just have vats and vats and vats of sugar seas underground. We'll just bury it. We'll just bury all the sugar. Why not? But yeah, well, that's what we need, kind of. We just need tons and tons of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is going to save the world. Really, all of life is dependent on photosynthesis. I mean, that's how life gets its energy. right? Through that single process. And I think it's going to save the world. It's kind of funny to think that petroleum products are basically fossil fuels, essentially were created over millions and millions of years through the process of photosynthesis. We're releasing those petroleum fuels into the atmosphere as carbon dioxide, and we're just going to need a whole bunch of photosynthesis to put it all back again. Yeah. We need more photosynthesis. We need more plants, folks. Lots and lots and lots and lots of more plants. How much more? We need Amazon rainforests. We need 100 times, 1,000 times the Amazon rainforest in photosynthesis. That's what we need right now. That's what's gonna be what that saves us. Photosynthesis. That's how it's kind of interesting to think that photosynthesis will be what creates human life, what has created human life and made it possible, and photosynthesis will be what destroys human life. Photosynthesis will be what saves it again. Now, what do I mean when I say photosynthesis destroys human life? Well, I should say maybe lack of photosynthesis. It's kind of interesting just how dependent everything that's living and breathing is on photosynthesis. I mean, I'm just thinking about it. I mean, that's about as basic a process for managing energy as you can get. And it's changing the planet. Thankfully, we've got the sun, our star. What is it, our G2 star? Hey, Google, what kind of star is the sun? Is it a G2?
Sorry, I'm not sure how to help.
Okay. All right. Anyway, Emily, I'm going to start wrapping it up here. I've got to head out to work. I am so pleased that you've clicked on the link and were willing to spend some time with me. Thanks for this little chat. I appreciate the conversation. As you can see, I'm pretty charged about what potential there is for the future as it relates to Council Circle and maybe even ecstatic dance. And, I know that your classes are going to end soon at Cabrillo High School. And, I'm totally open to getting together and doing something. I know it's a challenge. It's about bravery, right? Asking for what you want is not easy. And sometimes saying yes is not easy either. And anyway, I just want to create that sort of sense of emotional safety where whether you say yes or no is okay. And, things will work out in the end. I'm a pretty optimistic guy anyway. And so it's not a problem. I hope you have a wonderful day. And let's see. Oh, I think tomorrow is your last day of school at Cabrillo High School. Congratulations. Wow, you finished your freshman year of high school. Pretty amazing stuff. Anyway, I'm always here, always willing to chat or talk or text. And I'll talk to you later. And I hope you're enjoying your new iPad Pro. Take care, girl. I love you.